Alright, it is day 11 of no fap for me. I almost relapsed this morning, and it's made me rethink about some lifestyles that I need to rethink about. I'm gonna move to a different apartment soon, and I'm gonna have to think about who I live with. I don't want to live alone because there's just too much temptation to masturbate. I want to live with people who are more active. I live with roommates who are very quiet and reserved, and it's too much temptation in this kind of living situation. I had a little bit of a problem with the owner of the Airbnb. I had my toilet blew up the other night, and it was flooding the room, and he didn't seem to have a care in the world that his property was being destroyed by that, and he blamed me for not knowing how to turn off the toilet, and I guess that's one thing I should have known, but I was looking all over the place to figure out how to do that. But right now we're going through, a lot of people are disgruntled with life, and we call it quiet quitting. I'm not sure if that also applies to self-employed people or people who own Airbnbs or just quietly quitting. I guess there is a general sense of checking out of traditional life, uh, but I'm gonna have to think hard about that. I need an environment that is not going to make me want to fap. That's what I'm looking for. I also have a hard time just letting go of something after it's been resolved, even. So, for example, last couple of days I've been really anxious about using the toilet to the point that I'll be going out and about somewhere else and think, oh my god, I gotta use the toilet here because I don't want to use it back home. I'll urinate into the shower instead of the toilet, and even though it's been fixed. But that wasn't the only time I ran into that. Even the last couple of weeks. Last week I had a hard time filing my taxes because I had a special form I needed to use. I was working at a technical college, and they ran into trouble when they closed, actually, and never sent me a 1099. So I have to use this form to estimate it based on my last pay stubs, and you can't e-file it for whatever reason. So I had to go to the library to print it out, but my work was giving me all these wacky hours, good ones actually, and I didn't have time to go to the library, and I was racing all around town. Finally, I got it taken care of, but even after the taxes were all complete, I continued to have anxieties about, oh my god, I gotta go file my taxes. It's already complete. I literally had to write down on a piece of paper, your taxes are done, because I kept stressing about it even after it was done, and unfortunately, that's not unusual for me to do. I keep having anxieties about, did I forget to do something today? And actually, part of the reason I kept taking those extra hours at work was because I remember at previous jobs when my hours were canceled. And so now when I get unexpected hours that I could take, I remember that my fortune might not be always like this in the coming months, especially with the holidays coming up. I've come to really despise holidays. Ever since I started doing tutoring gigs, holidays are not so fun for me anymore that my hours are cut, right? I wish it were popular to talk about rearranging our pay so that we can continue to get paid during the holidays. Not the most important perk that I want at my workplace. So I'm not going to bring that up, but I wish it was more popular because now I dread holidays. Last year I was working for a different tutoring center where my boss decided that saving $20 was more important than morale, if you will. Go watch my previous videos about it. So anyways, holidays are just dreadful times, not to mention when I was living in Seattle, the weather wasn't always that great. Here in Phoenix, that doesn't seem to be much of a problem. Anyway, I almost relapsed into masturbating, and it's made me rethink about some lifestyles today.